Hi everybody. So in this video I'm going to show you how to solve a quadratic equation involving logs. So this is the third video in my series and we're going to be looking at solving each of these equations. So when we solve questions like this, we need to identify we've got a power of 2 here and a power of 1 here. So this is similar to a quadratic. We can make this more obvious by using a power rule with the 7 to the 2y. This is by taking the 2 out of the brackets. So now if we let a different variable t equal 7 to the y, we can substitute this back into this equation. So now you can clearly see that this is in the form of a quadratic equation, and we can solve this by factorizing, where we get t minus 3 multiplied by t minus 1. So t will be equal to 3, and t will be equal to 1. But now we need to remember that we said t is 7 to the y, so we need to substitute these values back into what we have here. So when t equals 3, we've got 7 to the power of y equals 3. We can find y by taking the log of both sides. This allows us to use the power rule to bring this y down in front of a log. And then we can divide both sides by the log of 7. We can work this out on our calculators, and we get approximately 0.565 to 3 significant figures. And we need to remember we've got another solution when 7 to the y equals 1. And this one's much easier to solve because we know y is 0, because anything to the 0 is 1. So here we've got our two solutions, okay? So perhaps you want to try question B. You can pause the video, and when you come back, we'll go through the work solution. Okay, so welcome back if you had a go. So again, we can use the power rule to write this as 2 to the x all squared. And we can use the addition rule of indices to simplify this. We can pull this 2 out in front, so we've got 2 squared multiplied by 2 to the x. Because when you multiply these two together, we add the powers and we get x plus 2. And then we've got minus 5 equals 0. So if we let a different variable w equals 2 to the x, we can rewrite this as a more obvious quadratic equation. So we've got w squared minus 4w minus 5 equals 0, and we can factorize this into w minus 5 multiplied by w plus 1. We can solve this equation, so w equals positive 5 and w equals negative 1. But again, we need to remember that w is 2 to the power of x. So when w equals 5, we've got 2 to the x equals 5. We'll take the log of both sides, so we can bring this x down in front of a log, and then we can divide both sides by the log of 2. And when we work this out, we get x equals approximately 2.32. And then for our other solution, when w equals negative 1, we'll have 2 to the x equals negative 1. And this isn't a possible solution, because when you raise 2 or any value to a power, if this power is negative, so it's less than 0, we'll have 2 to the, let's say, negative 1. And all this negative does is convert this to a fraction. So it remains positive, it's just a fraction. And when x equals 0, we get 2 to the 0, and again this is positive, it's 1. And if x is greater than 0, let's say x is 1, we get 2 to the 1, which is 2. So whether x is negative, 0, or positive, we always get a positive solution, which means when 2 to the x is negative 1, this has no solution. So we say this is not valid. Okay? Well, thank you very much for watching. I hope you found that useful. If you did find that helpful, please like and subscribe, and you can download the full lesson from my website, mrmathematics.com. There's a link in the description below.